My name is Nick Hunter. This is skill 10. For this dog, I'm going to remove a small to medium-sized dog from the cage, from an upper cage. But I'm also going to muzzle her because she does have a caution. So we're going to apply a small nylon muzzle first. When I put this on her, I want to make sure that the smaller side is up top and the larger side is on the bottom. And then make sure it's nice and loose before you put it around them. You don't want to try to get it on there and it's already too tight. So because she has a caution, I'm going to go slow with her. Just let her see me, give her a little chance to sniff me, see if she wants to acknowledge me at all. At that point, she seems okay. Just go ahead and apply this right over her nose, just like that. Make sure we clip the back, it's behind the ears. I want to make sure it's nice and tight so that she can't slip out of it. Now because she's in a bed, I'm going to slide the bed forward first, just so that I can get her nice and close to me. And when I go to lift her out, I'm going to keep one arm in front of her head to keep her neck and her head restrained, and then one underneath her in her back area, just to keep a good hold of her everywhere. And then for removing her from the cage, we'll take her to where she needs to go from there. But at this point, we're just getting her out and we'll put her right back in. Alright, so this is skill 10 again, lifting a large dog onto an exam table. So when I go to lift him, I want to make sure that I lift with my knees. I also keep my back nice and straight when I lift him up. And then when I actually go to restrain him, I want to keep one arm up underneath the head so that I have proper restraint around his neck, so that he is not able to turn and bite me. So I'm going to put one arm up under his head. The other arm's going to go up under his hindquarters. And so I've got him nice and firm so he can't go anywhere. So all I'm going to do is just lift with my knees, keep my back straight, and place him on the exam table. So my name is Nick Hunter. This is skill 10, doing restraint with a dog and sternal recumbency. So clearly with that, that means the sternum is flat to the ground or the surface of the pet is on. So as you can see, Anime's sternum is on the surface of the table. So as far as restraint goes, you're going to want to have one arm wrapped up under her arm, and that's going to allow you to keep a nice hold on her head so that she's not moving around or being able to bite. The other one, you want to either keep the hands on top of the hips to keep her placed down, or you can wrap around her just to also keep her in place. But you don't want to have your arms up underneath her because then that pulls her up off the table. So either over or around, either one, but don't go under. So that's sternal recumbency.
Cool.
Alright, so this is skill 10 again. This is going to be lateral recumbency. So I'm going to grab one arm to the front left and one arm to grab the rear left. And on the count of 3, we're going to just rotate him down and he'll slide down my front legs into lateral recumbency. So 1, 2, 3. And then once he's in a lateral recumbency, I'll use my elbows to hold down the back end and my elbows to hold him down at the neck. That keeps him from able to lifting up and biting, but it also keeps his rear end restrained to the ground as well. This is skill 10 again. This is going to be using a gauze muzzle. So I'm going to go ahead and just tie a little loop into the gauze. You probably want at least 2 to 3 feet for most any dog. Smaller dogs you could go with a little bit less, but for him I've got about 2, 2.5 maybe. I'm going to go ahead and tie a loop so I can just place that around the muzzle. Hey, come here. Come here. Sit down. Sit down. I'm going to go ahead and place this around the muzzle. And just tighten that around. And then I'll bring it back around underneath his muzzle, or I'll cross it and bring it around behind the ears. And from there, I can tie it in the back, and it'll be nice and tight so that his mouth is kept closed, but it's not on the eyes either. Good job. Okay, so this is skill 10. Again, applying an e-collar to a patient. When applying an e-collar to a patient, you want to make sure you have the right length. So that they don't reach outside of the cone and actually still be able to get to an incision or a wound of some sort. So when looking for the right length, you want to place the cone against the neck, close to the base of the neck, and make sure that his nose doesn't extend out past the cone. So as you can see, it's just behind that, so we have enough room. So I'm going to put this e-collar on him. Usually we can loop leash collars through these, but in this case we're just going to loop some gauze through and use that to tie it up so that it stays around his neck. Can you sit down? Sit down. Sit. Good boy. So this is just going to slide right over his face. And as we push it over, you want to be careful not to get the eyes, and you want to pull the ears through so that he's got plenty of room. And you can see it fits right over his head. He can't reach out past the comb. So we're good. And then I'm just going to tie it in the back so that it stays on and you can't pull it off. And then any excess we can just cut so that he won't be able to reach that. This is skill 10 and the final skill of skill 10. We're applying a rabies pole or a pull restraint on a dog. With these, you want to make sure that the loop goes around the neck, obviously. Once you have it around the neck, you want to tighten it enough so that it has a nice firm grip on them, but not enough so that you're choking them. They should still be able to breathe. As you can see with this rabies pole, it is made of metal, so clearly it's going to keep the distance between you and the dog, especially if it's an aggressive dog. Anything that's not metal or hard material is not going to really keep you safe, so we use metal ones here. The pole back here, this is what you'll pull to tighten it as it's around the dog's neck, and then you just twist the top part here and that releases it. So we're going to go ahead and apply this to the dog, and we're just going to make sure this fits right around his neck, and he's a little nervous, which is okay. Come here, bro. There. Right. So just wrap this right around his neck just like that. And then we're going to pull just to tighten it. Just enough so that I've got a restraint on him, but not enough so that it's choking him or he can't breathe. So clearly, if I want him to stay where I want him to stay, he's going to be able to stay, and he's not going to come near me with this pole. It's on him, he did well, so to release it, I'm just going to twist, and it's going to loosen up, and just pull it right back off.